Okay. To him speaking such things, a howling or hissing storm from Aquilone, from the north wind, strikes the sail opposite or opposing, and raises the waves to the stars. The oars are broken. Then the prow is inclined, and it gives its side to the waves. A sheer mountain of water follows in a heap. Some hang on the top of the wave. For others, the wave splitting open reveals the land between the waves. The tide rages with the sands. Notus hurls 3 ships, understood, snatched onto the hidden rocks. The Italians call the rocks, which are in the middle of the waves, altars. A huge ridge on the top of the sea. Eurus pushes or urges 3 from the sea onto the shallow places and the sandbars, miserable to see, and dashes it on the deep, or on the shoals, and surrounds it with a heap of sand. The huge sea from up on high strikes one which was carrying the Lycians and faithful Orontes before the eyes of he himself, and it strikes it onto the stern. Pupim is the stern of the ship. And head first, or inclined, the helmsman is shaken off and is turned onto his head. Okay, in class we said something different, but I actually want to point out that wave is the subject of Torquat, so it should be blue. But the wave, 3 times in the same way, hurls that one, driving it around. And the rapid whirlpool swallows it in the sea. Men scattered swimming appear in a huge whirlwind, and the arms of men and the planks and the Trojan treasure through the waves appear again. So I think a good way to do that would be they appear, all these things, through the waves in a huge whirlpool. All right, now winter has conquered the strong ship of Ilioneus, and now the strong ship of brave Achates, and the ship, understood, in which Abas was carried, and the ship in which aged Aletes was carried. All receive the unfriendly salt water into the loosened bolts of the sides, and they lay open with gapes or with seams. Meanwhile, Neptune sensed that the sea was mixed with a great murmur, and that winter had been sent forth, and that the pools from the innermost shoals were poured forth, and gravely is angered, or has been agitated. And looking out on the deep, he lifted up his calm head from the top of the wave. He sees that the scattered fleet of Aeneas on the whole sea and the oppressed Trojans in the waves, and the ruins of the sky, and they are not lay hidden to the brother. I'm sorry, and the tricks, the Doli, the tricks and the angers of Juno are not laid hidden to the brother. In other words, he knew about them. He calls Eurus and Zephyr to himself, and then says thus things. Is there so great a confidence of your, or trust of your race? Does so great confidence of your race hold you all? Now you dare to mix the sky and the land without my will, winds, and you dare to raise such great masses? Whom I, and then aposiopesis, he breaks himself off. But it is better to compose the moved waves. Afterwards, you will atone for things having been committed with a not similar punishment to me. Hurry your flight, and say these things to your king, that the power of the sea has not been given, well, the power of the sea and the savage trident have not been given to that one, but to me by lot. That one holds the huge rocks, your homes, O Eurus. Let him boast himself, or let him brag about himself in that palace, Aeolus. Let Aeolus brag about himself in that palace, and let him rule with a shut-up prison of the winds, or in a shut-up prison of the winds. Thus, having said these things, it should be thus he spoke, and more quickly than his speech, he calms the swollen seas, and he puts to flight the clouds having been collected, and he brings back, or leads back, the sun. At the same time, both Chemotho and Triton, having leaned, cast off the ships from the sharp rock, and he himself lifts them, understood, with his trident, and he opens up the vast sandbars, and he tempers or calms the sea, and he skims the top of the waves with his light wheels, and talking about the wheels of his chariot. So you're supposed to picture him, going out and skimming the sea in his chariot and calming the waters. Okay, and for homework, you're supposed to translate this section right here, and then prep through 41.